Good morning, guys. Welcome to my channel. This is Daniel. This is Engelgeist, my channel. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. For those of you that support me up on the Patreon page, thank you so very, very much. If you're interested in going to patreon.com, you can look me up at Engelgeist333 and get a monthly subscription. Get the daily forecast a day early, and there's other things at different tiers. Separate readings that are available only over there, love readings, things like that. So feel free to check that out if you want to support me in that way. That would be greatly appreciated. Other ways of supporting me is through likes, shares, comments, subscribes. Hit the notification bell so you're notified when I go live. And that's about it. Oh, and you can follow me at Instagram at Engelgeist333. I post over there a little bit. Not the best Instagrammer, but I'm working on it. So this is the forecast for the 25th, Wednesday, the midweek, or at least what I consider to be the midweek, obviously. This forecast is a message for the highest good of the collective, right? So something for us to focus on that will be in our, hopefully in our highest good or serve us the most during this time. It's not necessarily set for that date though. If you're seeing this video in your feeds and it's a date that's not the 25th of March, don't worry, watch it anyway, because I believe that Spirit has a way of finding the message or getting the message to you just when you need it. And that's considered a timeless message. So the intention here is for us to look at it as Wednesday the 25th, but also the message is timeless because it is for the greater collective and the highest good. So you might just, need this message at a different point than when everybody else received it. So let's see what comes out in the cards today. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves and maintaining some level of self-distancing right now, just for your own safety and security. I hope that you guys are feeling okay and moving through this challenging time with some ease and not too much fear or anxiety. I can tell you for myself, it's been a bit of a battle back and forth, and I have to always just sort of reground myself, recenter myself, and remind myself that in the present moment I am okay. So let's see what's going on for us. Yesterday we had the beautiful Ace of Coins, and today we have the Two of Wands. Now, we had that full card for Sunday representing the midweek. Excuse me. Now this could be I need a sip of coffee, guys, sorry. This midweek card of the Fool that we saw on Sunday, right, which was the underpinning energy, could be starting as early as Tuesday for some of you, but ideally my thought is Wednesday is certainly a good point for when this begins. What was I going to say? So we had that Fool card underneath this Two of Wands, and when I look at this, what's interesting to me is they have this brick wall here. Twos always represent coupling to me, or this idea of sort of coming together with either another individual or a situation or ourselves even more so. And I think that because most of us at this time are in some sort of self-isolation or social distancing, right? This feels like it's maybe us coming together with ourselves at a deeper spiritual level. We saw that Four of Wands in the early part of the week, I want to say on Monday, right? Was that right? Yes, it was on Monday. And so that was about shoring up our sort of spiritual self and trying to stabilize that connection to self. This is more of a deepening of that connection, I feel like. More of a busting through walls, so to speak. Like, I'm not sure what kind of work you guys are doing, but this brick wall not only gives me this idea that we're breaking through, because we have this red sort of these almost like crowns to me, right? But it feels like energy pushing forward. These two wands are strengthening each other and pushing forward through blocks or walls we may have at a deeper seated, more spiritual level. If we're dealing with fears, if we're dealing with angers, anxieties, resentments, that might be the red color in this card. Red also represents the element of fire, which is the element of wands, fire and spirit. So that red may not necessarily represent that way for all of you, but for some of you this could be sort of agitation or fear that you guys are breaking through or have the opportunity to work your way through by deepening your connection to self. I mean to spirit, right? This feels like gaining strength and sort of pushing forward. Some of you might feel a little, like I said, agitated, right? But the question is do we let the agitation take over and the redness or the sort of irritatedness, or do we bust through this wall and sort of push our way through, right? So there is also this aspect to this where these wands crossing over each other feel like this is a big giant no for some of you. Like, as I'm looking at this, it sort of feels like, like this circle with the cross through it. So be mindful of that too. Some of you might be drawing boundaries or be not certain, how do I want to say, like, some of you may be in a place where you're drawing boundaries right now, but they're boundaries that I feel like are in your best interest or serve your interest. But you might be having to draw, excuse me, you might be having to draw a line in the sand, so to speak. And then for some of you, it's about coming closer to yourself. Even these boundaries, hold on, I'm having a sneeze attack. Even these boundaries would be about busting through walls for some of you. Maybe you guys have let things go on a little too long, that you haven't spoken up and said things, or you haven't, been clear on what it is that you need. This Two of Wands feels like it might be kind of putting an end to that or beginning to really look at those things and start new again. And that's also the underpinning energy of that beginning of that new journey of the Fool, right? That we have underneath this card. So keeping that in mind, using that sort of spiritual strength within ourselves, connecting to that, and really allowing that to propel us forward will allow us to kind of break through any walls or any barriers that we may feel are present in our life. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Sorry, all of a sudden my nose is running. Every time I get sneezing, and I know sneezing, running nose is not necessarily COVID-19, but every time I feel under the weather, I freak. This is probably just allergies, to be honest. Let's see what the universe has your back has to say. I mean, there is like a little, I do feel like with this Two of Wands, there might be for some of you a little agitation or restlessness today. Keep that in mind. Don't let that sort of block you. Don't let that be the wall. There's a lot of strength in this card too, I feel like. So, pushing through any blocks or resentments, frustration you have would be key. Try not to take it out on anybody in anger. I'm not saying that all of you will do that, but this is about connection to spirit this week. I think that we are being tested, not tested, but we are being challenged by the sort of world events that are going on around us, things that we've never experienced before. It's challenging us at a deeper level to connect to our spirit and to rely upon our own internal guidance system right now. And that's kind of why we're seeing these Wands cards throughout, and especially with that Fool. The Fool is about being open to new ideas and new beginnings and all of that, but not being completely naive or foolish also. It's that fine line of walking a new path and experiencing it and learning from it, yet not being so naive that we create mistakes or harm to ourselves. Okay, so the universe has our back card says, oh, I love this. I am the loving energy of the universe. So to me, I feel like it's interesting how we have that red in the Two of Wands card, and then the blue, cool, calming, like, almost starshine that comes down. If you guys are part of my Engelgeist group on Facebook, I did a meditation where we wrapped ourselves in white light, and then we allowed the violet flame of Saint Germain to come up through sort of ourselves, and then our homes, and then the planet, and then we had that sparkling gold shower down on us. And that reminds me of this sparkling gold. And this blue color of the loving energy of the universe, to me, feels like a calming for anybody that might be experiencing that sort of frustration or agitation throughout the early part of the day. Bring in this loving energy of the universe. Remember that the universe, no pun intended, because that's the name of this deck, the universe has your back, right? Gabby Bernstein named this deck that for a reason. And we need to remember that we are part of that. In the nightly meditations that I've been coming on and doing to sort of not only help you guys, but help myself too during this process, because this isn't easy for me. This is unnavigated territory for me too. It's been this opportunity to kind of remember that I can reel my energy back in, that I can bring my energy back to center and focus it in a way that suits me and draw those boundaries, right? Connect in that sort of deeper way with myself. Break through any walls, any frustrations, any fears that might be going on for me, right? So as I do that, I create a better spiritual connection. I'm able to tap into this loving energy of the universe and remember that I am part of that whole sort of ecosystem, right? And I can choose to be in that flow and bring that flow through onto the planet when it so badly needs it right now. Like, in essence, being a bringer of light versus a bringer of, more upset. Okay? Now let's see what the grounding stone is for today. So the grounding stone is on Tiger's Eye, and this is just a thought or a belief to ground in, and this is forgive. So when I think of forgive, and I look at the redness of this Two of Wands, it makes me think about what and where do we need to maybe forgive someone or ourselves in our life. What do we need to sort of make peace with? Where can we make peace in our space right now, especially while we have this sort of free time on our hands? I mean, there might be sort of people, situations, institutions, ideas, ideologies, things that we don't appreciate or agree with, that we might need to find forgiveness for to be able to become the loving energy of the universe, right? To be able to connect closer to our spirit, to not be in agitation, upset, anger, and also to break through those walls, right? That sort of keep us separate. Because right now I think that it's really important that we learn that we're not as separate as we think we are. We're more alike than we are different, right? And that means I'm talking across, color, nationality, ethnicity, gender, all of those things that individualize us, right, in our minds and in our world, right? We need to sort of be coming together in that mutual space of spirit, I feel like, right now, and forgive those around us that we don't necessarily understand or agree with. Forgive ourselves if there's anything that we've left behind within ourselves that we need to forgive now, so that we can sort of move forward in this stability of spirit that we saw in that Four of Wands, in this new sort of journey of the Fool, and remember the Fool's card on Sunday was very, very blue. I remember that too. We had the red of the Death card as the Sunday card, and the blue of the Fool card, right? And this Fool card could represent this I am the loving energy of the universe. The Fool is exactly that. It's a profound lesson and a profound new beginning of starting off our perceptions of where we fit in the world differently. From this more cool, loving blue energy, from this idea of being more at one with the universe than it working against you. And I know that there's a lot of stuff going on right now that feels like it's coming at us, and it is in a way, but it's really how we choose to receive it and respond to it. That's what's going to dictate how it continues to come at us, if that makes sense. Okay, so forgive yourselves, forgive, these situations that might be frightening, these, institutions that might be, mishandling things, or whatever we think that it is that has got us upset or agitated. We want to break through those walls and come closer to our spirit and understand that we are the loving energy of the universe, guys. We can tap into that and connect to that and be in that today, okay? And that might just very well be at the beginning of a new sort of journey for you in how we relate to the world and where we fit. All right, you guys, that is your forecast for the day. Thank you for tuning in. Again, like, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much, you guys. Go over to Patreon and subscribe there if you'd like to support me. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Okay, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.